Every so often on the news out here in Seattle, we'll hear about a couple of climbers that have to be rescued from Mount Rainier.
Help!
People who have set out on their own with their own ideas of how to get to the top. No map, no compass, no guide to show them the way.
And every time we see these news stories, it reminds us of the people that approach marriage in that same way, setting out on this amazing adventure without the benefit of more experienced climbers who know the terrain.
Leslie and I urge you, whether you are engaged to be married or have been married for years, to take advantage of an opportunity right here in your own church, a chance to get together with an experienced couple who's been on the trail before you.
It's called marriage mentoring, and we think it's something every marriage deserves to be part of.
I think the one thing that we missed as a couple when we were growing up is we just kind of did it by trial and error, and experience is a harsh teacher.
In marriage, there is no training. You get married and there it is. And so one of the things that we really talk to couples about is the importance of investing in your marriage.
I think often in a couple relationship you get kind of stuck. It's like, I see it this way, I see it this way.
We never
now
had
where
that,
do we go?
no.
Except for us.
That's right, that's right.
I was a little bit hesitant when we first about marriage mentoring. I was like, I don't know if I want to have somebody involved in my life like that.
In my background in football, I can really relate to a guy that might be thinking, marriage skills, marriage mentoring, come on. I'm exactly like that.
Particularly the guys are a little anxious, like, am I going to have to do all that touchy-feely stuff here?
You have to look her in the eye and talk all this weird stuff, you know?
Talk about my weaknesses.
This is not a professional counseling situation or setting. We're really here just developing relationship.
And then, we got involved and I could see the major differences that it was making in our marriage.
Mentoring outside of your in-laws or outside of your parents is good so you can talk about them freely.
To have a relationship with someone who's been married, for 5 or 6, 10, 15 years was just a great idea.
Watching that video 12 years later, and we're so glad that we made the choice to go and spend time with couples like Jeff and Lori. I think it offers incredible hope for a new couple. It certainly did for us.
I'm a police officer, and when I was new to the police force, there was so much to learn, and I had people that I work with that had maybe been veterans on the police force for several years. Having a mentor is essentially the same thing. I've been married we've been almost married for 8 years, but Bob and Cheryl have been married for almost 30. They have 22 years experience, on the force, I guess you could say.
I think a guy ought to give it a chance to see that it's not formal, stuffy, or even touchy-feely.
I think people can throw out tons of excuses why they shouldn't have mentors. Yet I still believe that as good as our marriage is, that I don't want good. I mean, I want our marriage to be great, and anyone that can come along and help that happen, I'm gonna totally latch on to them.
This couple has modeled such an amazing Christ-centered home, and it inspires us to build a legacy similar to the one that they've built in their own family.
There's lots of books on relationships, and there's nothing like reading a book, but it's even better to have a real life model to observe and to learn from.
If you're wondering whether to be mentored or not, I would say it's an opportunity to have a safe place to grow. Do it.
You want to have your marriage reach new heights? Who doesn't? Well, your church can provide the guides.
When you're talking about your life and the most important relationship that you have that really impacts your happiness, why wouldn't you take that shortcut?
Yay! We made it!
What of you?